All right, here we go. It is another day, and we are just plowing along. There is some resemblance of a light at the end of the tunnel, and as they like to say, so long as it's not an oncoming train, then we're doing something good. I just barely got to get out and mow my grass, and then it looks like it's gonna rain again. We have maybe officially entered rainy season, and it's funny because I live by a lot of people who are retired, so they have nothing but time on their hands to just mow and mow and mow, and I do not have that kind of time on my hands, so I'm not able to just mow and mow and mow. But at any rate, I will hopefully be able to at least maintain. Today is a good day. I got part 2 of Compression Man issue 4 back, and I believe that I don't think it's going to be a full 5-minute episode. I think it's going to be more like 4 minutes, 4.5. If we're lucky, he can flare it out to 5. There's not a whole lot of action going on in this one. It's a lot of talking, and that means that you only really have as much time as you have conversation to drag the episode out. So when you're thinking about animating something and you only have, I think it's 2 minutes and 45 seconds worth of talking in this episode, and so technically if the animation was nothing but talking, then excuse me, it would only last 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Naturally the animation is going to be a little bit more on the action than that, but I also usually have action written into the script, and that is not the case this time around, or at least there's not that much of it. And since there's not that much of it, we're pretty much just relying on my vocal lines to drive the story, which is fine. My first 2 episodes both ran over, and then my next episode ran under. If this episode also runs under, then I'll probably at the end of the day break even, because I think both the first 2 episodes were 6 minutes and some change, and then the third episode is just over 3 minutes, I think, and then this episode will come in at like 4 minutes. And then if episode 5, I would be surprised if episode 5 does not run over. And then I'm going to release a marathon on YouTube of the first 5 episodes and just call it Compression Man 2024. And it'll be a marathon of all the episodes I ever released in 2024. And it will hopefully be like 20 minutes long, somewhere around there. So it'll be a decently longer video that people can divulge in. And then what I will try and do is have it constantly running while I'm at work, so that I can jack up the watch time hours on it. And because it's like, if I can just pretty much watch it nonstop for 8 hours a day, that'll get me a total of 8 hours of watch time, and however many views. If we say it's a 20-minute thing, so that's basically, you can get 3 views in an hour. So 8, 16, 24, so it'd be 24 views, and they would all be full-length views. That's pretty good. Historically speaking, I'd been against the idea of watching a lot of my videos at work, or watching any videos at work, because like, you're at work, you're not supposed to be doing that. But it's my own videos, and I won't really be watching them. They're just playing in the background so that I can really jack up the watch time on it. And hopefully YouTube will be like, oh, maybe this is something worth promoting. And I think the biggest portion of it is just being consistent, because if it's not consistent, then it won't really grow all that much. And I don't know how smart the algorithm of the platform is, but like, will it recognize that it's just the same person watching it over and over and over again? Probably. And will that damage the reputation of the video? I don't know. I remember back when I was young and foolish, this was like 2013 when the Xbox One first came out, I would release videos, and they were reviews of games that had come out. And I can remember that I did this thing where I refreshed the page a bunch. So I would go on a different channel, and I would refresh the page, and try and jack up my view count by doing that. Now, granted, now I know that would have just killed my retention, but YouTube caught on to that as well, and they flagged my views as having non-verified views, and so that was a problem too. But it's like doing the best that you can to promote the videos that you're putting out there. I can officially start reaching out to local theaters now and be like, hey, I've got a couple episodes of this show that I want to promote, and I was hoping that like, if I can get a sponsorship, if you'll show an episode of my cartoon before your showings, and see what they have to say about that. And hopefully the answer is yes, and they will show the whole thing, and we can get a good thing going. But there's also the chance that the answer will be no, or that the fee will be unaffordable, or who knows. But my hope is, if I can do that, then they'll probably, depending on how they film their videos, they'll probably need the actual video file to play before the actual showing. Because like, I think with actual movies, they have a file that is like all the trailers that they put together, and then it would have to play in theory after all the trailers, but before the feature film. And depending on the file or the formatting that they use for their trailers, if they just have a bunch of videos compiled, then they'll just have to add that to the list. It'd be nice if I could get them to actually just look up the YouTube video, because that would also jack up my watch time. But I gotta take what exposure I can, and I gotta start somewhere. And I think starting locally is a good bet for me. So I'm just going to reach out to the local theaters that we have here in town, try and feed them some financial temptation, in hopes that they will take it and run with it. And I don't know, eventually we will see if it works or if it doesn't. But I think that it'll be a good place to start. So that's all we can do really, is just keep trying to succeed to the best of our ability, to the best of our knowledge, and keep getting creative with the ways in which we succeed. I think these marathon uploads will be a good addition to the channel, it'll give me content to add without really having to add content. Like, I have the 5 standalone episodes, and then if I put them all together as one marathon, and then by the end of next year I should be able to do it again, and then hopefully in 2026 or so I'll be able to like get more creative with my marathons, where it's like the best of this character or the best of that character, and just start really putting together some funny things for the viewership to latch on to. And like, I'm being very public in my Patreon, and I'm like being active on it, even though I'm not really active on Patreon yet. Like, no one's following me on Patreon, but I'm still being active as though people are following me, and that is also pretty important. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see where this goes, if it goes anywhere. But I am pretty dang excited about the whole thing, and hoping that I can retain some excitement for all of you as well, and that this blows up into what I want and or need it to blow up into. And like I said, I'm not looking for wealth. When I first started following Joel Haver on Patreon, he was making $5,000 a month, and that is honestly my goal. If I could do that with Compression Man, that would be magical. I could then, in theory, double the amount that I'm paying my animator, and hopefully get things cranked out faster, and still have plenty of money to just stock away for myself as well. And so that is the hope here, and we will hopefully figure out what we can do to get there. And like, now Joel Haver's even making more per month than he was when I first started, and that's one heck of a feat, because I feel like it's hard to maintain and to grow on a platform like that, but he is excelling. And I think the biggest thing is to make your community feel like they are in fact your community. A lot of these people build these communities online, and then they are just kind of like, yeah, you're basically just fans. Like, I'm not going to actually make you feel like you're a part of anything. And they're like, oh, but. And so I think that's where Joel excels, is that his community is very much so a part of the product. They are a part of the project. And I think that's a really awesome thing to be able to promote. He also does a lot of things for his community. He promotes, or he hosts this film festival, if you will, this online film festival, where all these people submit their films and they watch each other's films, and it's a whole big thing, and it's fun, and it's a good little exercise for people. And so I think that that is also a really good thing that he does to give back to his people. And so it'll be interesting to me to see and to understand what is going on, and hopefully how to succeed, and hopefully it works in my favor, and people start latching onto the content, and they start really enjoying it, and they start supporting it. And we've all got to start somewhere. I don't think I'll start making serious strides until I at least have the 5 episodes out, because that's the other thing, is like, if you don't have a large backlog of content, or any content at all, it's going to be very hard to promote it. And so if people are unable to really divulge into your content, then they're going to be less likely to really start watching it. And that's an unfortunate reality that we face, but it is a reality nonetheless. And so, yeah, I think that, like I said, I think that this is, if more than anything, going to be my way into the world. Like, audio-visual content is better than what I have been doing, which is completely written content. And I don't intend to ever stop writing books. I have a passion for storytelling, but as far as like the thing that will bring me out of the world or bring me more ahead in life, I think that's going to be Compression Man. And I think about these other animations that people do, and they get these awesome deals for them and stuff, and like, I don't even necessarily need that. If I can just get a basic level of Patreon success, like, that would feel pretty incredible. And like, eventually walk away from the working world. Like, if I were making what Joel's making right now on Patreon, I would step away. And that's just that's just the reality of things. And it's a nerve-wracking thought. I would have to be very successful for a couple of months before I was like, okay, I can definitely step away at this point. And like, to the same end, like, if I don't need to step away, why not continue doing both? And that is a viable question. If I don't need to step away, why step away? And what I might do is negotiate something with my work, where it's like, look, I'm succeeding in this form, and I realize you all may or may not be able to just make something for me, but I'm willing to stick around if I can work like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and less hours. And like, if you'll decrease my pay, then you'll decrease my pay, and I can be like a data specialist, or I think they call them analysts. I can be a specific to our department data analyst, work from home Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and do what you need me to do. But who knows? They might say yes, they might say no, they might say lol. But at any rate, that's all like well into the future, trying to figure out what we're doing and how we're doing it and all that good stuff. And like I said, eventually, a lot of people, and I've gotten this advice a lot, they say, don't quit your day job until you have to. Until your day job is getting in the way of the profits that you could be making with your passion project, don't quit. And I mean, right now, I'm nowhere near that. My passion project is not even off the ground yet. But I think that it will take off. I just need to stay determined in that fact. And so, yeah. I appreciate you all stopping by and listening to me talk about my future and Compression Man and all that fun stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy this little talk. I thought it was a pretty good one, honestly. So I'll see you next time.